This is That Exciting Dude, and it is that time of the year again where we are going to pick the Super Bowl team. But before we get to picking the Super Bowl team, first we're going to analyze a few teams. Not so much analyze, but just go over a few teams that I think are going to be strong this year. And then at the end, I'm going to have a runner-up team that I'll cover. And then I'll let you know my pick. All right, so first off, we're going to talk about, from the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills. For the Buffalo Bills, they have Josh Allen as their quarterback. Backup is Mitchell Trubisky. Running back, they have Devin Singletary, Zach Moss, and Matt Breida. I think, whenever you have three good running backs, you can't go wrong. It's a very taxing position, so that's good. Wide receiver, Steph Diggs, Emmanuel Sanders, and Cole Beasley. I think a good, solid wide receiver area. So only time will tell. It is the Bills. They're a very solid team, and see what happens, because it is the NFL. For the AFC North, I have picked the Cleveland Browns. Their quarterback is Baker Mayfield, followed by running back Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. That's a good pair to have in the backfield. Wide receiver, they have Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, and Don Peoples-Jones. Tight end, they have Austin Hooper. I think it's with the type of a season that Baker had last year and the wide receiver package that he has, only good things can come from the Browns this year. I'm hoping that they repeat last year. Moving on to the AFC South, I have picked the Indianapolis Colts. With that comes the quarterback position, which is a little sketchy, because at first it was like Carson Wentz, who's going to be their quarterback, he was going to miss the season, or most of the season. I think half, now as I think about it. Now all of a sudden it's like his injury was only for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, which was most of the preseason. I think it's still kind of up in the air. Only time will tell. And this is only if Carson Wentz is good and in 100%. Then for the running back, they have Jonathan Taylor and Marlon Mack. Wide receiver, just this past few days or last week, I don't remember the exact day, Ty Hilton injured. And I should have looked up before I started this video, but I want to say he's out to like 6 to 8 weeks. I'm not totally positive. Don't quote me on it. I'll play the cable game with you. He is out from 2 to 16 weeks. So, when he gets back, he'll be back. Then we have Zach Pascal, wide receiver. And for tight end, very solid Jack Doyle. Then for the AFC West, I have, how can you not pick, Kansas City, with quarterback Patrick Mahomes, running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire, wide receiver Tyreek Hill, Hardman, and Byron Pringle. And then, of course, the tight end, Travis Kelce. Very solid tight end, very solid wide receiver package, along with a running back. I don't remember who the backup running back was. Obviously, it wasn't enough for me to write down. But nonetheless, it's Kansas City. They really didn't lose anybody. I don't know about the trenches, the O or D line, if they did lose anybody or not. But it's essentially the same team that went to the Super Bowl. So how could you not pick them to cover or talk about? All right, moving to the NFC, we have the NFC South. How could you not talk about this team, because they won the Super Bowl, and that is your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Obviously, who doesn't know, but if you don't know, the quarterback is Tom Brady. The running back package involves Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, and Giovanni Bernard. Very solid running back package. Along with their wide receiver package, which is Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown. And again, how could you not? I think a very solid wide receiver package as well. Tight end, they have Rob Gronkowski and Cameron Brett. I think, two strong tight ends. And again, just like Kansas City, I don't know if they lost anyone in the trenches, but I mean, they didn't lose anybody. So how could you not pick them to go all the way? Or at least pick them in this, what I'm talking about. All right, so for the NFC West, I have the 49ers. And for their quarterback position, they have Jimmy Garoppolo. Running back, Raheem Mostert. Wide receiver, Deebo Samuel and Mohamed Sanu. And then tight end, George Kittle. 49ers, I think they had a really sketchy last year with a lot of COVID games, a lot of COVID out. I don't really follow a ton of the West Coast teams that great. All I know is hopefully they'll have a better year than last year. But time will tell. It is the NFL. All right. Now to continue in the NFC, we got NFC East, and I have picked Dallas. Dak Prescott for their quarterback, he is back. Running back, Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. Then for wide receiver, they have Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup. I know Dallas didn't do spectacular last year, but I think they did a lot better than what people would thought that they were going to do. Considering that Dak went out and just how the season went for them. Ezekiel, I know, did not really show his strength. I don't know the exact stat, but I want to say he had between 700 and 800 yards, which Ezekiel and his status and his rapport, he should definitely have 1,000+ seasons. So hopefully he'll bounce back this season, and only time will tell. And then NFC North, how could you not pick the Lions? No, I'm just joking. I picked Green Bay. Quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. I think everyone knows that Aaron Rodgers is their quarterback because of how this summer went with Aaron Rodgers in the media. Running back, Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon. Wide receiver, Devontae Adams, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Alan Lazard, and Randall Cobb. I think, very awesome for Aaron to have those wide receivers in his weapons. So, and then of course you got Big Bob Tunyon, Robert Tunyon for tight end. So there's definitely big things for Green Bay. Big opportunities for Green Bay. So, again, will Mr. MVP reign again? It is the NFL. Only time will tell. All right, and my runner-up team is from the AFC North, and that is the Steelers. Quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. Their running back, Najee Harris. Wide receiver, Juju Smith-Schuster. Chase Claypool. Tight end, Eric Ebron. The Steelers fell short to the Browns last year. I think it was a big upset. I think they kind of hung the win card in Browns' face, and, the Browns showed them up. So hopefully the Steelers will bring their game this year and realize that they just can't take games for granted just because they're the Steelers. It doesn't work that way in the NFL. So all we can see is what will the Steelers do this year. All right, on to the Super Bowl. Now, I did look up several sites. I only wrote down a couple. CBS, Sports Bookwire, and this Odds Shark. And it seems like all of them have Kansas City at the top for winning Super Bowl. Then second, the Bucks. And then it jumps between the Bills and Green Bay for third. And then some of them it jumps between the Ravens, Green Bay, or the Bills for fourth. And that was just a few that I looked up. So, yeah. So, Super Bowl. It's time to talk about who am I going to pick for the Super Bowl. Now, should I go like last year and just pick the obvious? So let's just get out of the way. Let's just go Tampa Bay and Kansas City. I'm going to pick 4 teams, and then we'll narrow it down from there. So those are my 4 teams right there. Or 2 teams. Repeat matchup. Now, do we really want a repeat matchup? That's hard to say. So, I think for the NFC, Green Bay is a very strong contender. And I think the Bills for the AFC. So, between those 4 teams, who do I think is going to go to the Super Bowl? I think Tampa Bay is going to get knocked out in the playoffs on a very lucky game that they will lose to whomever. Maybe the Saints. I don't know. A lucky game. So Green Bay, I have going against Kansas City in the Super Bowl. And why not? Let's just go out on a super whim here. And I'm going to pick Green Bay to win the Super Bowl. So, if you haven't followed me before, I probably should have said this in the beginning. 3 years ago, I picked the Super Bowl team, which was Kansas City. Last year, I picked Kansas City again. Now, they did go to the Super Bowl, so you can almost say it's a win in a way. It's not, but you can almost say it is. And we'll see what happens for this year. So, Green Bay is my final pick for the Super Bowl, and we will see what happens. All right, this is That Exciting Dude, and let's have a fun NFL season.